All right, guys, we're live. Well, some of us are anyway.
Hello, Price. Hello, everyone.
We are. It's just Erickson and I at the moment. Now, Octo is around. He is around, and he may be joining us at some point during the stream on camera. We don't know when that's going to be. And other production notes. This is only episode 2, but we killed the background music, and I now have producer Danny chatting me up in my ear. So we are ambitious but rubbish on episode 2 so far. All right, so let me. So on episode 1, what was that? Monday?
Yeah.
Okay, so on Monday, we had a fantasy day trader challenge on tangle.com/fiat leak. And the fantasy day trader activity is everybody has an imaginary $1 million portfolio of crypto that they can allocate however they want using any crypto that's listed on Fiat Leak. And we had some participants do that. And so we locked in the price. As soon as we locked in the price on Monday, nothing, you didn't have to do anything. It was just hope for the best. And then on Friday, this morning, we locked in the final prices, and we came up with a winner of Fiat Leak Fantasy Day Trader Season 2, Week 1. Now I'm gonna mention the winner at the end of this live stream, and we're gonna keep track of who wins each week over the course of the season. So at the end of the season, we can announce a grand winner. Okay.
Yeah.
But
I think it was a good start for me. I think.
Okay, Erickson's happy with his progress so far. He must have been greater than 0%. So there's a new fantasy day trader activity that just posted today. So right now is the time to get in there at tangle.com/fiat leak and make a comment that describes your allocation, your portfolio allocation for your imaginary $1 million account. And we will lock the prices in for this round of the tournament. We'll lock those in on Monday. So you've got a couple days to think of what your portfolio should be. Okay. Now, the other thing before we jump into the show here, we're gonna do a wheel spin just like we did on Monday. We're gonna do a wheel spin for anybody who is in the chat for this live stream, and that could happen on YouTube chat. This is broadcasting on my YouTube channel, Price Givens. You can chat on tangle.com/fiat leak. And producer Danny may be doing his best to monitor comments on Twitter. And I think that is the only way that we can hear from you guys on Twitter. Okay. So if you do that, if you have a Tangled username and you do that, then we'll add your name to a wheel spin at the end of this live stream. How'd that go, Erickson?
Yeah, that's cool. Unfortunately, I cannot be added to that wheel spin.
Yeah, Danny explicitly told me in my ear, I'm not adding Erickson.
Okay.
Well, now, the big question is Danny going to add Danny?
Yeah, that's a good question to ask. If Danny's going to add himself. Yeah. So I would like to be added because I need some wmlx. Maybe today is my lucky day.
Yeah, and last time we did how many? We did prizes of 1 million, 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 5 million, 8 million. So six prizes.
That's a lot.
It is a lot.
Millions.
Okay, so we've got Bitcoin on selected on the Fiat Leak map to start things off. And we can look around at whatever currency you guys want us to in the chat. We can look around at whatever topics Erickson wants to discuss. But I wanted to start with Bitcoin because it's the king, and as it goes, so goes the altcoin market. And
right now it's 38. That's a good resistance, I think, there.
Yeah,
right.
It is. So 38,000 is a resistance. 40,000 is another resistance, and then it's pretty much clear sailings to all-time high from a technical analysis standpoint. Now, I'm not a technical analyst. Erickson, are you going to make the same disclaimer?
Yes, I'm not.
Okay.
But I'm trying. I try to learn from you.
I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to learn from Mitch Ray.
Yeah, so that's good.
Okay, so I'll just repeat what Mitch Ray told me. For the short term, so like for the last 7 days or so, Bitcoin has been moving in a channel, and for the past 3 days or so, the price has been testing the heart line of that channel. And I wouldn't consider, so we're at 38,089 at the moment, but I wouldn't consider that a breakout until, well, I'll say it this way. The importance of if and whether it's a breakout is determined by the time scale that breakout happens on. So it's got to have a candle close, a 4-hour candle close at the minimum over 38,000. And a daily close is better. And if it was a weekly close, that would be even better.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's not just a few minutes above 38 that will make it a breakout. And yeah, I agree with you. It's being testing the 38,000 mark. And in the last few days, we see that it's making high lows, and that's very good.
Yeah.
So and today we see that the volume is taking is going up, and maybe if it keeps like that, we may break out the 38 mark. And yeah, the last, if you, I'm trying to watch it here in the trading view. If you see the last 4 hours, the last candle, 4-hour candle, the volume went up a lot compared with the previous 4 hours. So if it keeps up, we may break this 38,000 mark today.
Yeah, and if it so it could, I think that it could sneak past 38 and hold 38 without much drama if the TA is testing the heart line instead of the resistance at 38. And I'm not sure if the resistance is at 38 or 38.8. It's just in the neighborhood. I can't make a call on that. But since the heart line is in an upward moving trend, the heart line is also increasing, and every day that goes by that it tests that heart line, you're going to have higher prices on the heart line.
Yeah, hopefully it will be a big breakout there.
Those are exciting.
We see, maybe 10% move up.
Okay, so we are at 38,119 on Fiat Leak, which is an aggregated price of over 100 exchanges. The 24-hour high is 38,204. So if we break that, we're going to see an earthquake. We're going to see an earthquake on the live stream. Okay.
Looking forward to do it. To see it.
Yeah, that's what everybody likes.
Yeah.
So in the chat, Trending Vids wants to take a look at XRP. So let's do that in a minute. I've got JP Morgan says that the settlement between Binance and the Feds, JP Morgan is calling that a positive, and we don't know, don't believe what anyone says that claims to be an expert, even if it's JP Morgan. It's still a person at JP Morgan, but You know, could be good news. All right, I'm going to try to add in Octo right now. Let's hope for the best here. Give me a second, Erickson.
Okay. Welcome back, Octo.
He's not back yet.
Not? Okay. So, Price, do you think, do you really think that's a good news for the crypto market, that Binance and the SEC reached an agreement?
You know, I believe whatever the market tells me.
Yeah. Well, the market seems happy right now, so they didn't care much about the news of CZ, the CEO of Binance, stepping down. We saw the BNB token took a big hit, but not the other tokens or cryptocurrencies. We didn't see, like, I think BNB was down like 10% or more on Tuesday when they announced that CZ was stepping down, but we didn't see a big leg down for other currency.
Octo, so tell us something.
The market is not reacting.
Yeah, it's true. I was surprised as well. And there was quite a few other exchanges that have been sued by the SEC because of a whole bunch of coins that they were regarding as securities. I mean, Kraken was done as well this week, and Coinbase had a lawsuit.
Yeah.
Was it Bittrex just a few days ago relisted XRP, and 2 days later moved out of they shut down operation in the US. It was pretty impressive. But again, yeah, on the market, it made a slight correction in general, and then it all seemed to point towards the 38K Bitcoin that we saw today.
Yeah.
Yeah, about the Binance thing. How do I say this? So it's the coverage. Most of the coverage that I saw about Binance it led us to believe that the issue with the SEC was related to the types of financial instruments or assets that could have been considered securities to residents of the United States. That was kind of the headline. But I did see some other coverage about it, and I should mention that because I own BitcoinWallet.com and Tangle.com, I am a registered money service business with the Department of Treasury in the U.S. So I have a regulator, and that regulator is examining us and coaching us on anti-money laundering laws and KYC and all that stuff. And I did see coverage about Binance that they were violating anti-money laundering law and not accidentally. Okay, not accidentally and not in a small way. They were they had reason to believe that there was a user that was laundering over $100 million through Binance, and the Binance response to that was coaching that user to make a new account, start over, and try better next time. That was in the court document, and there's a long list of activities like that. So that's how you get to a $4 billion fine. And from my knowledge of FinCEN law and AML law and KYC law, that's a very small fine, because the fines work. There's a dollar amount associated with the number of infractions that have been made, and they're huge for each case. And it could have been $100 billion. It could have been.
Okay.
He took one for the team.
He did.
Down and yeah, I like the picture of him going like this. It's an old picture of him.
Did he do a new 4?
No, but the new caption was 4 billion.
Yeah, 4.
Yeah, that's a good caption.
Yeah, so, you see it's coming in. Business as usual. Same for the other exchanges. I haven't seen any numbers going around yet about how much they are trying to find them for. But yeah, it was for similar reasons. Some of the coins being securities, and a lot of the DeFi that has been offered by these exchanges, mainly to do with money lending.
Yeah, and that's a financial instrument that's regulated, as are futures and options and swaps.
Exactly. In England, futures and options are being removed from most exchanges last year or beginning of this year. And only last October as well, everything changed again. And a whole bunch of DeFi tools and options have been removed from the exchanges. So what could be offered, including all the referral programs. Now in England, referral programs from exchanges, they have been outlawed completely.
You know, what I think, if that happened more broadly, I hadn't heard about that happening in England, but if that happens more broadly, in my mind, it's going to suppress the volatility swings of the crypto market. I mean, not just for the obvious reason, but because collateral lenders like Nexo, they're using futures and swaps to hedge the credit lines that they give people in dollars based on the collateral they post in crypto. And if they don't have those instruments available to them anymore, they're not going to be able to offer the same service. As a result, you're not going to have as much lending, which is actually leverage, which means you're not going to have as many liquidations when some line is crossed.
Right.
Yeah, Nexo removed it from all the UK users quite a while ago. Don't have access to it anymore. The lending is still there with a good collateral as base, crypto as collateral, including stable coins, which gives you about 90% for most of them of credit over a collateral if it is a stable coin.
Octo, do you have anything? We've got a news item here on Fiat Leak that says about 6.5 billion in Bitcoin and Ethereum options are set to expire. Do you have anything on that? I don't. Well, I don't know if that's normal or abnormal. I don't know what to think about.
It's kind of normal because they all do have a deadline. I didn't know that's that much accumulated that is about to expire, and then depending on the price, it could make big losses, profits on people. But normally I do look more at the volumes of the leverage liquidations.
Yeah,
pretty much every time there is a decent move up or down, including the latest 38K move from Bitcoin. It did a double top. Well, it just topped the previous top. It was about 37,990, and with that, I think over the top 10 exchanges, it managed to take out about 120 million in liquidations. And what was it, about an hour ago when it did the second, when it made it over 38, there was another about 100 millions in bears liquidations. Mm-hmm. That's why I don't do leverage.
I don't like leverage too. I'm just watching the news that you talked about price, and usually when you have this amount of options expiring, you have to see if they are going to expire, when they are going to expire. And looking at the news, I see that the majority will expire on 29th November, and also you can see that there is a big difference between calls and puts. You have a lot more calls, which means that you have more people believing that the price will be higher than it is now. So it shows a good.
Hey guys, let me just break in real quick
there,
because the volume that we see right now on Fiat Leak is about 10 times what we normally see. I mean, it normally sits around 60 Bitcoin per minute. We're testing 700 Bitcoin per minute right now.
That's a big difference, yes.
Yeah, if you look at a short time frame chart as well, again, the live stream broke Bitcoin's previous top.
Yeah, maybe there is the correlation, but we don't know if it's the causation.
It's the 3 p.m. UTC magic that happens almost every day.
Yeah,
there is movement around this time. But again, like clockwork, it just broke the top for the third time today. I mean, the previous high.
Now, I've got another news piece that producer Danny sent over to us, and it's about Solana. Let me get to that in just a second. I just want to mention that earlier this week, I don't remember, maybe it was on Tuesday, I did a live stream on YouTube and Twitter, and the live stream was basically just me. And to set it up even better, I'm not an expert on hardly any cryptocurrencies. I would consider myself a technical expert on Bitcoin and absolutely an expert on wmlx. But as I mentioned in the video, I don't look left and I don't look right. When I decide to build something, I don't care what anyone else is doing. I just build that thing. So in the video, I spent an hour trying to learn as much as I could about XRP, and you can check that out in either YouTube or Twitter. But I'm gonna do the same type of video, and I hopefully am gonna do it with Ericsson joining me about Solana. Ericsson and I were having a conversation, which was recorded and posted on Tangled. Oh, we just got an earthquake.
Yeah, it's moving up really fast now.
And
we see that there is a good price action, so the volume.
Yeah, the volume followed through. So Ericsson and I are going to do a video where we learn together about as much as we can about Solana, because we took a brief look at it, and some of the things that we saw didn't make sense to us. Okay, they didn't make sense, and I'm not trying to suggest any type of forensic audit or any type of deep analysis. We just look superficially at and things, and we get our first impression based on what we see. But you might want to watch that video, because it is Ericsson. So Ericsson and I have had 5,000 hours of conversations about how to build a cryptocurrency, and running into problems that would kill the entire project if we don't solve it, and then solving it. And so we're going to take that perspective and bring it to a first impression look at Solana in a video next week. Now, all that said, sorry for all that, okay? Here's the headline, Octo. Here's the headline. FOMO has picked up in a big way on Solana. Your reaction?
Yes. It's true. I noticed it, and I was a bit surprised, because Solana, it's been quite controversial for a long time. There's been a lot of mixed feelings about Solana for forever, really, since the last huge pump it did. I can see a few new things, a few new projects, a few NFT projects coming out on Solana. There was, some news, nothing incredibly big, in my opinion. So I can't really explain it.
Okay, well, let me see if you can explain this.
it's feeling a little bit the place, the hole left by Luna.
Okay.
A lot of the people that was into Solana, it was people that were into Luna back before it completely died, and it seems to have picked up some momentum for a good part of this year, really.
Okay,
well,
let me ask you a question, and then take a shot at this question. Then Erickson, you jump in on it too, because you know exactly where I'm going with this question. Okay, so I've got another headline here that says Polygon handled over 16 million transactions in a single day, and quote, didn't even blink. Okay, now that is a good accomplishment. I think that Polygon has a great use case. I think is being used. I just want to point out that 16 million transactions in a day is about 60 transactions per second. Okay.
Yeah.
So based on that,
no big deal.
Can you so 60 transactions per day, that is kind of a benchmark of a well-used, good use case protocol. Now, can you tell me why Solana would have 4,500 transactions per second?
That's one of the things that captures our attention, right, Price?
Yeah, one of two, and maybe not the most important, but it is one of the two things. Yeah. What do you say about that, Octo?
Why Solana would have 4,500? You're saying?
No, it does. They claim to have on the Solana blockchain explorer. They're consistently doing 4,500 transactions a second.
Constant.
So 15x.
They have to compete. They have to compete. The Polygon record that was on the news you just mentioned, they've done numbers like that so many times, especially during the first bull run that he was having a couple of years ago. Polygon broke records about transaction per second, per minute, per day already a few times. And if today's transactions per day, you said, I haven't checked your math, but you said it works out at about 60 transactions per second.
Yeah.
Well, the way I did that math was 1,440 minutes per day. 60 times that is, I think, no, I don't remember the number, 64,800. So it's 16,000 divided by 64,800. That's from memory, but that's how I arrived at the number.
But I think, Otto, the question that Price wants you at least to try to explain to us is how can Solana or why Solana is doing 4,000 transactions per second?
Are they real?
Okay.
Yeah. we didn't go deep into analyzing the protocol. Maybe that's what we are going to do in the next video, right, Price? Mm-hmm. You want to analyze the protocol, and maybe we will find out why they do 4,000 transactions per second. But that's a really huge number. If there is no use case,
I'll tell you why. Because the price of all the NFTs they've made in the past is dropped so much that they're doing a lot of smaller transactions.
Yeah, but why? Just to transact and keep the network active?
Well, as I said, the buzz kept Solana quite busy in the last few months, and there's a lot going on, especially in the NFT and the metaverse world. They have been doing a lot, and I think there is a lot of smaller transactions going through the network than obviously there were on Polygon. Polygon is the protocol that moves everything to do with Aave and a few other networks. It all runs over the Polygon network. So it deals with more consistent in size type of transactions. Maybe it doesn't need to do as many.
Okay, we'll consider that possibility.
I think from what I think, Price, our belief is that those transactions are more related to how the protocol works.
The compute, maybe.
Yeah, the compute. Maybe computing rewards or whatever, but that's something we have to deep down later. Price, regarding the headline where they state that Polygon did 16 million transactions in a day. Yeah, that's very impressive. That's a big number, but it's possible because Polygon used proof of stake. I don't think any protocol using proof of work would be able to reach such a large number of transactions per day.
Yeah,
and I can relate this with Milix because, as you know, Milix uses a DAG as a ledger, and it is able to scale horizontally. So the more nodes we add to the network allows us to process more transactions per second. So, and we already did some tests where we reach 50 transactions per second or 3,000 per minute, which would be around 4 million in a day.
Yeah,
and that was in a very small set.
That's the important part.
Very limited number of nodes. It means that if we scale that to, let's say, 100,000 nodes, we can easily surpass this number and reach, let's say, 50 million transactions per day, or even more.
Yeah, when I agree with that, and maybe because we've already solved a very, very high transaction per second protocol with Milix. Maybe I kind of take that for granted now, so that when I look at a transaction number like Polygon, 16 million in a day, I'm not thinking about that from a technical standpoint. I'm thinking about it as validation of use case and adoption. And that's why I want to look at Solana. And Bora Ergel in the chat has made a comment about Solana that maybe helps to explain it. But you and I, when we go through Solana, we're not just going to look at the extraordinarily high, sustained, and consistent, potentially difficult to believe transactions per second. We're also going to try to figure out why such a high percentage of the transactions that are being recorded in the ledger are self-identified as failed transactions. That is not that's we're going to have to figure that out.
Yes, that's another thing that we have to look at.
Yeah.
And by the way, you said that this huge number of transactions per day is related to use case, and that's true. If you read the news, you will see that there was a project released on Polygon, and it's a game which I think it's related with Baby Shark, which is I think a very famous video set for kids. Yeah. So I think that's why you have these transactions and the high network usage.
Well, that's a great opportunity for me to give a shout out for CobraHelix.com and all the games that Cobra Helix has published that use Milix as a reserve currency. Whatever score you get, that's how many Milix you receive as a prize. And those are also available as applications in the Tangle.com application store. All right, let's see another item here. Let's see what Octo has to say about Ethereum reclaiming 2000 based on a surge in network activity. Now, I always like to distinguish whenever we talk about whenever I talk about activity, I am not talking about trade activity. I'm talking about activity on the protocol.
Yes.
The chain. Well, it's hard to tell in the case of Ethereum. I mean, it has been doing well and reclaimed the 2K a little while ago, then dipped, reclaimed it again, which I think was expected. But the network activity, it could be due to maybe 2,000 different other coins that have been busy on the same network. So in itself, it's nothing new to tell, in my opinion. I think some of the projects running on it, they have been busy, causing the transaction level to rise quite a lot.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, I see that in the last year, Ethereum has been holding the value, and I don't know regarding if you compare it with Bitcoin, which one is growing or has more potential to grow even more. We know that Bitcoin is a very
in price.
Yeah, it's a Bitcoin has its value, and Ethereum is like the second big currency.
Yeah, second biggest market cap.
Yeah, and do you see Ethereum going up to 10K or 50,000?
It could, but at that point, I think Bitcoin would be over 100,000. I don't think
there will be always this difference, this big.
The total market cap, it could get close to Bitcoin for Ethereum, in my opinion, but I think it will always be number two.
Yeah, I think it will always be number two, but maybe it should get closer to Bitcoin in terms of total market cap.
So you're talking about the Bitcoin dominance trade?
Yeah,
regarding comparing with Ethereum.
If you look at the Bitcoin dominance over the last, 3 years, I think it's slowly been decreasing, and Ethereum could get closer to having a similar market cap.
So we just got an earthquake on Ethereum. It's a good day so far. In the chat,
it's a good Friday.
Let me shout out Rajni, Abid Hussein in the chat. He says, how many transactions on the wmlx network per day? Erickson, I don't like per day. I'm not sure what the current count is. The bulk of the transactions that happen on the wmlx network right now are payments from advertiser to consumer. So
yes,
every single time in the Tangle browser, a consumer is presented with an ad, which happens about once every 30 seconds. A network protocol level transaction happens between the advertiser paying the consumer. About how many it can do, it's theoretical. It's theoretical, and it's very large. As Erickson mentioned, we've done tests, and keep in mind when we're doing tests for scale, we're doing it with devices that have hardly any power at all, like a Raspberry Pi. Okay, yeah. Raspberry Pi can operate the wmlx network and be productive and earn fees, but we've gone out to 100,000 transactions per second, so a lot.
Price, I think was this a question from Bora?
No, that was from Rajni.
Oh, from Rajni. Okay, so Rajni, you can go to wmlx.org and you can open the page, and then if you go down, you have the latest statistics, and you can see how many payments we are doing in the last 24 hours. It's right now, as Price said, we are just, the majority of the transactions are at payments, and it's around 22,000 at payments per day. So that's the usage of the network right now.
Okay, good.
And that varies day to day, depending on.
Yeah, it depends on
how much people.
I've seen this. I think the biggest number was 100,000 something.
Yeah, but that wasn't a simulation or a test. That was use case.
Yeah.
Now, the last thing before we move on to the next item here, Bora Ergel, who is always a super valuable participant in the chat and is a celebrity on Tangle.com, says that Erickson, you and I are going to learn about proof of history when we dive into Solana. So we have that to look forward to.
That's a new thing.
That's a new thing.
A new thing. Yeah, a whole new thing for us. That's very cool.
Okay, let me jump over to XRP.
Yeah, as a note, before you jump, the live stream you were doing the other day about XRP, I thought I mean, I thought I knew XRP quite well because I think it was the first cryptocurrency I bought almost 10 years ago. I think with the work you did, the way you researched it right there on Google and tackled all the problems there are, the trilogy, the three main problems about any cryptocurrency. It was very, very insightful and quite clear as well, to be honest, for anybody to, get their hand around what Ripple is.
That's cool.
It was very good.
Price, we have a validated methodology then. So let's try to apply this to Solana and see what we find out.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you, Octo, and we'll keep doing those. I'll tell you something. I don't know how popular this question is going to be, and I also don't know the answer to the question. But after I did that video, I was thinking about how to. So the video was technical, right? It wasn't based on pricing, but after that video, I asked myself, how do you value something like XRP? And I'll try to give my thoughts on that as best I can. So there's 100 billion units in circulation, right? And I'm making a guess when I say that when you use the XRP ledger to, for example, send dollars through XRP into yen, right? So you're using the built-in exchange and the trusted lines the way that it was designed to be used. I'm guessing that the number of XRP to facilitate that transaction has to match at least one side of the value of the transaction. So if it's $100,000 transaction, you have to use $100,000 equivalent of XRP to make the send. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Okay. So that was a guess, but it leads to this from a valuation standpoint. If you take holders out of the equation and you take speculators out of the equation, because I don't know how to quantify those two things very well, the market cap implies that there has to be XRP available to transact some size of value from sender to recipient, but that XRP is locked up for the lifetime of that transaction. And those transactions happen pretty fast. They settle pretty fast. So yes. you would have to establish the value of 100 billion XRP units. You would have to take a guess at how much value is going to happen on the XRPL every 2 minutes, and you would assume that the market cap of XRP wouldn't exceed that value of transactions on a 2-minute time scale. Does that make sense?
Yep.
That doesn't sound good.
It doesn't, yeah, because to be more functional, it would probably, and to start transacting bigger amounts of fiat, as the example you made, it would either have to decrease in price of the XRP token or go up a lot. Because now, I mean, the total transaction that it's handling, let's say there are $100 billion worth of whatever currency you're trying to move. If one day, because of adoption, that will get much larger, it will impact the price of the token used for this exchange and transactions to cover the total amount of money that will be moved over that network.
Yeah, and if the price of XRP goes up a lot, then it adds kind of a shadow cost to transacting that much value, because you have during that 2 minutes, and somebody had mentioned as feedback to my video that you don't have to have an FX exchange rate on XRP because the settlements are so fast. It's a 2 minute. Yeah. But the FX market moves a lot in 2 minutes, and there is
the price is higher.
Yeah, and there you've got volatility risk on the XRP that you've had to own to facilitate that transaction for a 2-minute period, and that could get out of control. It's going to be small when you're talking about $10 for URI, but when JP Morgan Chase,
yeah, and that XRP is for the banks to use.
Yeah,
right?
they don't want to be a bag holder for a $100 million transaction.
Yeah,
that's right. If you send 1 billion and you get back only after a few seconds, but price is much higher. Volatility is always there, however big or small. But even if in a minute your transaction to the other side ends up being 999 instead of the 1,000 that you sent,
it's going to show up in the financial report.
Low, but that would be considered as a fairly large fee.
A big loss, a big FX loss.
So that was kind of my follow-up thought.
This week. Sorry.
No, that was it. That's all I had to say about it.
Yeah, I saw an article this week about one of the Bitcoin miners sending, what was it? It was like 180 Bitcoin. It was quite a large, it was about 31 millions. And I think the fees it had to pay, they were more than half.
That sounds like a fat finger.
Yeah.
I didn't really go in depth to see.
I think I saw that. It was like an 86 Bitcoin fee.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
That's a fat finger.
Yeah, I didn't check the source on that. I didn't
check it either, but I didn't see it only once. I saw it coming from 2 different places.
Yeah, because
I thought, okay. I mean, I have seen fluctuations in fees when the network is busy or for any other reason in Bitcoin fees. But
the miner was very happy to mine that.
It could have been the miner doing the transaction too, in which case they just would have been paying themselves.
Yeah, I think it was sent to an exchange. No, to a wallet. Oh. Yeah.
Okay, let's
approaching Ethereum kind of territory.
That's crazy. So I've got XRP, the XRP map up on the screen, and I don't know if we have anything to talk about specifically more about XRP, but Octo, if you want to take this opportunity to just kind of go through the market summary that we see, the gainers and the losers, and tell us what you think about whatever is interesting to you there.
The one interesting thing I have seen this week, well, gainers and losers, I sort of mentioned mostly the gainers, not the losers. I'm not too interested in those, although sometimes there are some of the top 100, let's say, market caps between the big losers, and that makes it slightly more interesting.
Yeah.
There's been one of my favorites, which is Mina. It's been on the top 10 gainers quite a bit in the last 10 days. I like Mina because it's the smallest blockchain in the world. I think their blockchain, it's like, 4 kilobytes? It's really tiny, making it fast and efficient. And I've liked Mina since it came out.
Cool.
What do you mean? The block is 4 KB?
Yeah, it's either 4 to it's the smallest blockchain in existence. In kilobytes.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah,
you should check it out. Because
and how fast does it aspire to solve a block?
I can't recall the numbers.
It seems like if they take such an extreme approach to the size of the block, they might also take an extreme approach to the frequency of it. It could be 1 second or it could be 1 day, and I wouldn't be surprised by either.
Yeah, and Octo said it's one of the fastest blockchains, so
then it's 1 second.
It's
smallest, yeah.
Yeah, so they are just relaxing on security just to make it easier to solve a block.
Yeah. And being smaller, it would make easier work for the nodes that are supporting the network.
It will be interesting to research how do they deal with problems like
protocol,
like 51% attack and double spends.
Well, if you're making if you're making it less of a compute load to run a node, it makes it harder to do a 51% attack. I don't know. That could be a cool one to look at. It's you know, like many of the things we talk about, or at least I talk about, it could be just added to the list of things that I think are interesting and no one else cares about. But that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah. Usually, yes. What do we do?
Yeah, it could be one of the things to explore a little further because it does have some interesting points. And I don't know enough about it to go on about it now.
I'm looking at the market summary. There is a token, a currency that is Pepe. Do you know anything about that?
I think it's a meme coin.
Pepe, it's in the same level for me as Doge, or less, as Doge was years ago.
Okay.
It's just a meme coin. It has had a crazy boom. What was it, 2-3 months ago?
So,
which made for some very good day trading. I did 10x a few times in days.
That's good for traders.
But it's just a meme coin. I don't like it. It's just a tool for me to multiply a little bit of money. to buy something else, which is what I normally do.
Okay, so, I'm gonna give you guys about it. Let me give you guys a couple seconds to think of anything else you've got today. In the meantime, I'm gonna give a shout out to the names that we're gonna add to the wheel spin at the end of this live stream, which is coming up pretty soon. So every one of these live streams, we take the names from the chat, we add them to a wheel, we spin it, and we give away some wmlx. So let me first, before I go through the names, if you guys are watching on Twitter or YouTube, hit the thumbs up. And that might help us get a little bit bigger on the next stream. Okay, so do that for us. And we are gonna add these names to the wheel this time. We've got Sajad Shah, Naron, Rajni, Liger, Amin Fahmawi, Rusalis, Time Fungus, SJHW, Aerosol, King 555, and Bora Urgal. Now, if you didn't hear your name mentioned there and you have a Tangled username, make sure you put it in the chat, and producer Danny will get you added to the list. If you don't have a Tangled username, just go over to tangled.com, sign up. There's tons of activities every day, fun activities to earn wmlx. There's content, news, everything you want, groups. We've got it all over there. So all these people that I just mentioned, they are already on tangled.com, and you should be too.
So, Price,
yes.
Before we move on, I want to keep a bit more here talking about the market summary. As we see right now, wmlx is number 1, but I'd like to talk about the number 2, which is GRT. I've seen this token a lot. I don't know. I don't have any information about it. Maybe Octo has. I would like to ask Octo if he knows it.
No, just the same as you. I've seen it in the news and the top 10 gainers quite a bit lately. I was literally going to ask you the same thing about it.
Okay. Yeah. So maybe
I know nothing about it, but I know it's been going ballistic for the last couple of months.
Yeah, maybe we have to research it after this live stream. So
I think Casper is worth it. Yeah.
Well, I think that since if wmlx is currently number 1, I think that is a good segue into announcing the winner of the fantasy day trader that we started on Monday.
Yeah.
Okay, so here comes some special effects.
No,
there's some special effects for you. We're gonna
special effects is you freezing for a little bit.
Okay. So ambitious but rubbish continues. Here we go. I'm gonna go over to g/fiatleak on tangled.com. Here we go, and we should have a winner announcement. Now I don't know how popular this is gonna be, but we're just gonna have to fight our way through this. Congratulations to @Danny, producer Danny, for winning the Fiat League Fantasy Day Trader Season 2 Week 1. Now, we know how he did it, okay? It's public knowledge how this happened. And it involved cunning strategy and a lot of hope. So Danny's portfolio was 95% wmlx.
That was a risky portfolio.
That is a risky choice, and he had a wild ride during the week. But he finished up, I think he finished up 11% with his portfolio. Now, what do you guys, so Octo and Erickson, you guys have to put your portfolio in for this week by commenting on the post. Okay, Octo's already in.
I'll do it.
So
I'm going to do it next year.
Here's the strategy question. You could say that you want 100% wmlx and take the chance for the big W, but 3 other people might do the exact same thing. So it's almost, do you do 100% something like that and 1% stablecoin or 1% Bitcoin to try to differentiate yourself from the crowd? What do you do?
Yeah. You would have to add at least one extra variable, hopefully a good pick, so it could give you that edge over somebody doing a similar portfolio.
I think I would at least have one extra variable there, and it will depend on how what's the outlook I have for the market for the next week. So if I think it's going to dump, my other variable will be Bitcoin, because usually it dumps less than all the other
Okay,
coins.
well, I think you might like my portfolio. I've got the portfolios up here, and I'm thinking that that we have had a hot run in crypto for a couple weeks now. So I am heading for the sidelines. I am going 70% Tether, 30% BTC. That's my call.
That's too. I think that's too
conservative. I saw that.
It's too conservative. That one.
It's a safe place, but with 70% of stablecoin, you couldn't possibly get enough gain unless you think that the next week is going to be a dump everywhere for every coin. In that way, you might have the best.
Best
I
don't think Price believes that we are going to dump next week, because early in this live stream he said that we are going to break 38,000.
I did not make any call. I made no call.
It doesn't explain why it picked 70% USDT. You know something we don't.
Okay, here is Octo. I've got Octo's portfolio right here. It is public knowledge that he is allocated equally between wmlx, BNB, DOT, NEAR, and Matic. Okay, that is Octo's best pick to redeem himself in week 2.
Yeah, and it was purely mathematical, looking at the chart, not even looking at the news.
So
and trying to predict what the price will be on Monday, which is when you pin the price for the beginning, and Thursday night when you're going to pin the final price.
Yeah.
Now I may have been subtly accused of cherry picking the timing of the prices, and I defended myself as such, and I will do so again. It is such a pain in the ass to administrate the portfolios for this activity that I cannot be bothered to cherry pick the timing. I promise you that. It's just whenever I come around to it, that's the price that you get. Okay. Salfrodo.
It just makes it harder for us to pick.
It's hard, and for me too.
As long as it's at the same time for everybody, then it's fair.
It's the same time for everybody. Okay. Salfrodo is 100% Bitcoin. And he also is self-identified as someone who loves marijuana. So consider that with the portfolio as an asterisk. We've got Mutrin, who's at 40% BTC, 60% Tether. He's trying to take my strategy and just find an edge on it.
Yeah, I think that's what she's trying to do.
And it might work. Okay, Erickson, do you have your picks in here yet?
Didn't. I have to do a market analysis before building my portfolio.
Okay, Dr. Erickson has to do a long-term market analysis. We've got the philosopher Ipapotsidis with CRO, BNB, Tether, Cardano, and Solana. So it looks like I may have kicked off a little trend here for the sidelines. That's three of us now.
So, Price, when is the deadline to submit my portfolio?
It's some unspecified but perfect time on Monday.
Oh, okay. So I have until Monday to do my market analysis.
Time Fungus is on Matic, Link, Bitcoin, and heavy on wmlx. And so is Rajni. Half of his portfolio is wmlx, then Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Doge. We've got a lot of people already in this who are playing to win. Okay?
Well, I know that I did quite well for the first round. I think I got, my portfolio is up around 3.something%. That's not bad. You did very good too, Price. I don't know about you, Octo.
So
I don't remember because the first time I looked, price was in a negative percentage.
Yeah, that was an error.
Something must be wrong there.
It's been fixed, Octo. Good news, it's been fixed. Octo finished
the. For you, not for me.
No, well, do I need? Is there a self-reported audit that needs to happen on your portfolio? I've got you at 2%.
Yeah, 2 something. Yeah, it wasn't that great.
Okay, so. Erickson, so I was at 9.8%. Lil Hooligan.
Very good.
That's pretty good. Lil Hooligan was 6.4. Plab was 3.5. Aerosol was 0.97. That was a conservative portfolio. Jonathan Hernandez was negative 0.98. Erickson was 3.7.
Very good.
Danny was 11.1. And Rajni was 6%. Now, we're going to figure out how to carry over the performance of each week to a final number at the end of the season. We're going to figure that out. I need a mathematical PhD, but by good luck, I happen to have one. He's in the middle of this live stream.
Well, Price, you mentioned the end of the season. We don't know when is the end of the season.
That's true. We don't. But we do know that it's not next Friday.
Is it when Price reached number 1?
Possibly. Okay, let me head over to a wheel spin. So I'm going to go into the Tangle.com application market, where there is an application for performing wheel spins. And I have a list of names, which I gave. I don't see any new names as far as I can see. Oh, Tariq Mehta. Tariq Mehta's in the chat. He says, I'm Tariq Mehta. Tariq Mehta, we know. You are the very first celebrity on Tangle.com as the winner of the Tangle Tournament 1.
The first tournament, yes.
Yeah. Still brings tears to my eyes.
We are very happy to having him here.
We're lucky to have him here.
Yeah.
A celebrity is among us. Okay, here we go with the Fibonacci sequence. 1 million.
Are you going to use the same sequence?
It's the Fibonacci sequence, Erickson.
You could find another one.
I could.
Next time you can try another sequence.
New algorithm. It's gonna outsource it to you, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely. The next sequence is called delegation.
He's delegating the Excel sheet for the fantasy crypto competition.
Yeah, that is a topic of conversation for the next. That is definitely happening.
Yeah. Well, I had an idea as well regarding that. You could just make a little script for it. Get the prices from a simple API, like from TradingView, into a web page, and just have it all done kind of automatically.
Are we going to have price programming again?
Absolutely not. That's everything Octo just said. In my mind, I just heard delegate, delegate, delegate.
Yeah, no, that's what I meant.
Price, do you recall the last time you wrote a line of code? last time?
Yeah, it was. So it was about 3 years ago, and the way that I made that happen was that I told the lead developer on Tangle.com and wmlx.com, Crank, who a lot of you know, I said something like, "I'll give you a $5,000 bonus if I don't write a single line of code in the next 30 days." So I made it his problem, not mine.
Yeah.
And I think he cashed in the bonus, and I was all too happy to pay it.
It was a good solution for you to get away from coding.
Okay, here we go. The wheel is ready to go. I'm going to spin it. Now, just like the last time, you want to win, you want to see your name, but you want to see your name appear last because the prizes get progressively bigger.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Who's the first?
He is the boss of bosses in the Pakistan cartel at Rajni.
Well done.
He is a multi-time winner at SJHW. You got to subscribe to that guy because he's going to support whatever you do. Now we're going from 1 million to 2 million.
I believe it has a new treasure hunt coming up soon.
Good shout out. At SJHW, follow him because he's doing a new treasure hunt with a prize. Aerosol hits it for 2 million. A deuce. Thanks for being in the chat, Aerosol. The People's Champion at Tariq Maida. Now, you know what's interesting? The further we go on the spin, the higher the odds become that your name will be selected. So the odds are increasing at the same time that the amount of the prize is increasing. Here we go.
Yeah. That's good.
I don't see your name on there, Erickson.
We have to talk with producer Daniel about that.
At Bora Urgel got 5 million, but he deserves so much more because he was helpful in the chat today as it pertained to Solana. But he got 5. He got a nickel. Now we go to 8. Second to the last spin. King 555 for 8 million. Well done, King 555. Thanks for joining all of our chats and live streams. Here we go. The number 13 is up for grabs.
Who's going to get it?
Time Fungus. Got it.
The luckiest one.
The luckiest one, Time Fungus. He deserves every single wmlx.
Yeah.
I think it did very well even on the last wheel spin, didn't it?
You guys got to chat. You got to get your name on the wheel spin. And Erickson and Octo and I are going to petition producer Danny about that very problem as it pertains to us. Okay?
Yeah.
So I'll give you guys the chance to close us out. If you're watching the live stream on Twitter, hit the retweet, hit the like, hit the comments, do what you got to do. Octo, leave us with something.
Yes, I will see everybody next week. I hope you enter the fantasy portfolio tournament because it is a very interesting experience, and it will give Price a lot of work.
Thanks, Octo.
Yeah.
Erickson, doctor.
Yeah, it was nice talking to you guys, and also I want to invite the users to participate in the fantasy crypto challenge. So the more users, the better. So let's see if Price can handle all these users with his manual way to process those.
It's going to be a spreadsheet. It's going to have to be automated.
Okay, so the recommendation, the doctor's recommendation is to get yourself over to Tangled.com. If you don't have an account, it's free. Sign up, start participating in the activities like the Fiat League Fantasy Day Trader. And with that, we will, the three of us will get back to you on Friday with a winner. Or I'm sorry, we'll see you guys on Monday. We'll have stuff to talk about on Monday. Yeah, we'll do that.
Hopefully on Monday I'll have my portfolio.
Yeah, and you might, hopefully Dr. Erickson has his portfolio by Monday. You'll see Erickson and I talking about Solana Tuesday or Wednesday. And I generally do a live stream every day in some form. Between the three of us, one of us is uploading a video every day. So get over to Tangled and watch that. And with that, we will see you guys later. See ya.
See you later. See you at tangled.com.
Bye-bye.